Blood Moon, the montage that was supposed to be the last in the allegory of the void. This was probably the biggest project I have ever done. It was supposed to be my last Halo 5 machinatage because free-for-all was becoming extremely frustrating, and I lost my entire project file at one point, which made me start over the entire video. Both of those things really hindered my motivation and made me want to completely stop being an editor altogether. Nowadays it doesn't affect me as much, but I would always look at how popular other montages were, and I hated how I was never as well known or appreciated as them. For example, I would look at Alive Dinosaur, who has around 3K subscribers. He'd get the same amount of views on every one of his videos, and seeing that made me jealous. I kept thinking to myself, what am I doing wrong? Getting really low views on a video still bothers me a bit, but not as much as it did back then. I suppose it's a YouTuber thing. I mean, why wouldn't you want your videos on which you spent months of editing get thousands of views? Blood Moon was also a turning point for me in many ways. It got featured on Halo Waypoint, which gave it an incredible boost in views. Thousands of new people got to discover my channel. It shocked me and made me think, whoa, maybe I shouldn't stop here after all. It was also the first montage that featured exclusively high Onyx and champion gameplay. Getting clips at that level became important to me. I suddenly became so passionate about getting clips at those ranks because I realized that sandbagging and smurfing wasn't for me. I didn't like doing it because it felt like cheating. Getting unique clips on bronze players never felt rewarding to me. The challenge of getting to a certain spot in the map and actually hitting something on the most skillful FFA players in the game was a challenge that I loved. So I made it my mission to make the entire montage out of Onyx and champion clips. It was really frustrating, and there were times where I told myself I should just smurf instead, but I kept going for the clips I wanted over and over and over. Oh, I hit the clip this time, but I don't like how the animation looks. I hit it again, but I died right after. I hit it again, but theater screwed up how it looks. Almost every clip was like that. I've never been more determined in my life. Blood Moon was also when I really reached my tolerance limit of Halo 5. I was so mad that it just felt like quitting editing, buying a physical copy of Halo 5 and breaking it in half. That's how frustrating it was having to deal with broken theater and free-for-all. I did read that they'll be updating that playlist soon, so I'm at least happy about that, although it took 343 way too long to do it. I talk about all of this in the description of that video, and looking at it now I can see how over-dramatic I was. In reality, all I needed to do was take a break. Play other playlists or play other games. Don't do any machinatages for a while, go for a different editing style. Taking a step back from the allegory and reapproaching it at a later time was something I really needed to do. Now that I got some context out of the way, let's finally get into this. At the end of Eclipse and the beginning of Blood Moon, I introduce a new character. This is the Faceless. Specifically, Faceless Grey. There's another Faceless in Path of Eternity, but I'll save it for that episode. The Faceless is a representation of the audience, those who view my content whether they're subscribers or not. In short, Blood Moon's focus was showing my constant struggle with myself and those who watch my videos. I am heavily affected by all the pressure, negative feedback, and hate that can come from the Faceless. It engulfs everything around me with its dark presence. The fear, the worrying, and the stress all rush into my mind, and there was a point where it became too much for me, and the Faceless cast me into the void once again. The part where you see the bodies was simply my way of showing the viewer that we're in the void. The characters you see are a sort of throwback to previous montages, except Nick. He was just an Easter egg. Black finds himself trapped in the void, and tries fighting back the Faceless in a desperate attempt to escape. But it ends in failure. There's not much to explain about the soul here, it was just my way of integrating the clips. I ended up scrapping a lot of scenes and other ideas for Blood Moon, so that's why you might not be able to make sense of certain things like why my soul is leaving my body, why it's purple, or why I'm wielding an infection sword at the end of the montage. The final scene happens right after Black falls to his knees near the beginning of the montage. Even if he's surrounded by the void imposed on him by the Faceless, Black manages to break through his dark armor, and Dead White emerges from it. The original White from The Edge, my first montage, is essentially reborn from Black, although he's scarred by Black's experience, which is why he has the same armor on. I made this scene because it was my way of showing that even if the Faceless heavily affected me, I still had hope that I would soon overcome that darkness one day, and I did. I can't say that I'm not affected at all, because that would be lying, but I'm much less negatively affected by the criticism, stress, and hate that I might get from my videos. So I get back on my feet and kill the Faceless. Now, don't get the wrong idea. I don't mean I hate all of you and I want to kill all my viewers. The last action of the video symbolizes how I overcame my fear. However, as I won that battle, another was lurking around the corner, and I soon became faced with 3 choices.